Welcome to the channel. I recently reconnected with an old friend from high school, and he brought up how we used to watch 2004's Dodgeball on repeat back in the day, and I haven't covered a straight-up comedy yet on the channel, so shout out to Brian for giving me the idea. So let's get into the video. Dodgeball was written and directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber, and this was his first feature-length film. It starred two of the biggest comedy stars at the time with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn. This was a reteaming for them as they both starred in Starsky and Hutch. That came out a few months prior, but their roles were reversed for this movie, with Vaughn playing the protagonist this time around, and Stiller playing the antagonist. Stiller is great as White Goodman, and the role does feel similar to his Tony Perkis character from Heavyweights. Ben Stiller was pretty instrumental in getting the movie made because he took a pay cut to do the movie, plus he produced the movie as well. And maybe he was responsible for all the vitamin water product placement. Probably not, but vitamin water is shown pretty prominently in the Globo gym scenes. Vaughn plays a relatively down-to-earth character named Peter LaFleur, and along with Christine Taylor's character, who's a lawyer trying to arrange a settlement between Peter and White. Those two have some quirks, like Christine being obsessed with unicorns, but they're relatively the straight characters for the movie, so that leaves Stiller and a lot of the supporting characters to be able to be a bit over the top with their performances. The supporting cast in this movie is pretty stellar, just as long as the awkward teen of the group, and his character name is also Justin. Don't know if that was in the script or the director was just like, fuck it, we'll just use your actual name. His character bears the brunt of a lot of the physical comedy in the movie. He gets crushed by Lori Beth Denberg, who 90s kids will remember her from Nickelodeon's All That. Justin was also the best at not flinching when it came to getting hit in the face by a dodgeball, and the director definitely took advantage of that because Justin gets pelted by dodgeballs throughout the movie. Stephen Root plays the very meek Gordon.
L for love. Good times.
He's a super talented character actor, and he's been in a ton of stuff, but he's probably best known for playing Milton in Office Space.
Yeah, I believe you have my stapler.
Alan Tudyk is great as Steve the Pirate, and he got the role because of how good he is at improv. Joel David Moore plays Owen, a lovable loser, unlike his role as JP in Grandma's Boy.
Adios, turd nuggets.
Chris Williams plays Dwight, and on the recent rewatch, I noticed he's wearing Allen Iverson's basketball shoe. I was really into basketball at the time when this movie came out, so that's how I know that. Now I could give two shits about professional sports. Dwight has some funny moments, like when he tells the story of how his cousin fell off a roller coaster.
My cousin Ray Ray, boop, dead.
Rip Torn plays Patches O'Houlihan, the demented dodgeball coach for this group of hapless losers. He might be best known for playing Zed in Men in Black, but he's also really funny in Freddy Got Fingered.
Made your daddy proud.
You're gonna be so proud.
Proud?
The plot of the movie is pretty simple. Vince Vaughn runs a gym called Average Joe's, and it's being foreclosed on, and the neighboring Globo gym, run by Stiller, wants to demolish Average Joe's and use it to help expand Globo Gym. But Vaughn is told by Gordon that there's a dodgeball tournament thanks to the fact that he reads Obscure Sports Quarterly, and there's a grand prize of $50,000, and that would be enough to help save their gym, but none of them are particularly athletic, nor do they know how to play the sport. But luckily Justin shows them a school video on the history and the rules of dodgeball, and we get introduced to a pre-cantankerous Patches O'Houlihan played by Frank Azaria. About a month before shooting, all the actors went through dodgeball training. Not sure if the rules in this movie are the same as in real dodgeball. In high school we had a dodgeball league, but we didn't have the rule where if you catch a ball that is thrown at you, then another teammate can come back in. So in our first match, my friend Stu came in after one of us caught a dodgeball. He then threw a ball that nearly took some chick's head off, but then the ref came in shouting saying you can't do that. Anyway, Average Joe's then faces a Girl Scout troop in the qualifying round, and they only win that qualifying match because the Girl Scouts get disqualified due to one of their players taking PEDs, and I remember this being one of my friend Brian's favorite moments.
God damn you, Bernice!
Also in that scene, the music the girls entered to was the same entrance music for Hardcore Holly, one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day.
Hey Dracula, how about you fat bastard? Why don't you get on there and see what you want?
That's not the only tie-in this movie has to pro wrestling, as one of the dancers from the dodgeball tournament is Candice Michelle. And when we get to the tournament, the dodgeball league is known as the ADAA, the American Dodgeball Association of America. We get introduced to our commentators for the tournament, Cotton McKnight, played by Gary Cole, and Pepper Brooks, played by Jason Bateman. Gary Cole is another actor, probably best known for Office Space, but he was also in Talladega Nights and Pineapple Express, among many other things. And apparently Jason Bateman would shoot his scenes while in between shooting Arrested Development. Those two have great banter, and I still quote some of Bateman's lines to this day.
Yeah, he will not be able to see very well, Cotton.
Average Joe's accidentally gets the wrong uniforms for their first round match against the Germans.
Oh my sweet Jesus.
That's rad.
Who are either coached or mentored by David Hasselhoff. The director Ross and Marshall Thurber said in the special features that there's only two funny places to get hit, and that's in the face or in the balls. So throughout the tournament, we see a lot of headshots and a few crotch shots as well. For me personally, getting hit in the face is a little funnier. In the finals, it comes down to Average Joe's against the Globo Gym Purple Cobras. But before that, Peter comes across Lance Armstrong, a scene that definitely doesn't hold up now, especially with what we now know about Lance. Peter was considering bailing on his team, but thanks to now disgraced cyclist Armstrong, he reconsiders, but as he does, Average Joe's is being forced to forfeit due to Peter's disappearance and Steve the Pirate. The chancellor of the tournament is none other than William Shatner, and the third judge to give Average Joe's the chance to play in the championship is motherfucking Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Peter.
The game ends up going to sudden death with Peter defeating White while blindfolded. The good guys win, and Average Joe's gym is saved, and the movie lives up to its subtitle, a true underdog story.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
If you've never watched the credits to the end, there is an extra scene with the now overweight White Goodman. It's pretty funny, so be sure to check it out next time you watch it. The movie was a huge success, grossing $168 million from a $20 million budget, and the movie was actually kind of well received. It's pretty crazy we never got a sequel, and still to this day, you can go to a Spirit Halloween and get an Average Joe's Dodgeball uniform. In 2017, the cast did reunite to play Dodgeball for Ben Stiller's charity, and in 2023, Vince Vaughn said he's been working on getting a sequel made. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. I'm okay if this ends up being a one and done, but I would be up for a sequel so we can spend more time with these characters and just see where they are 20 or so years later. As for physical media, there are a myriad of releases. I bought this 2-pack with There's Something About Mary. The only thing these movies have in common is that Ben Stiller stars in both. It comes with the unrated cut of the movie, and I never knew there was an unrated cut. I for sure had the PG-13 DVD back in the day. The only difference is that some of the jokes are a bit more raunchy. A lot of the special features were ported over, and there are a series of Easter eggs if you press enter whenever White Goodman snaps his finger in the movie. I counted 5 times on my rewatch. I won't spoil what happens, but it's something fun you can do if you still have this Blu-ray or the DVD. This is a Fox movie, so who knows if Disney will ever put this out again, but it is still readily available, and if you want to stream it, it is currently on Hulu. I also own this movie on UMD, and this contains the original PG-13 version. Up until a few years ago when I bought that 2-pack, this was how I would typically watch the movie. I've seen this movie a lot over the years on my PSP, and that's how I was able to notice some of the changes in the jokes on the unrated cut. Fox really helped support the UMD format, and they put out a lot of their comedies for the PSP, and sometimes they would put bonus features on their releases, but they didn't for this movie for whatever reason. I've taken this movie on a lot of trips over the years, and I'm probably one of like 10 people still carrying around a PSP. So if you see a dude at the airport with a PSP, it's possible that it could be me. Thanks for watching this video on one of my favorite comedies. It was hard to not just want to show clip after clip of all my favorite jokes from the movie, but Disney and their copyright goons would come after me if I did. Let me know what you think of Dodgeball in the comments section, and I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a movie time.